Alright. How you doing, people? My name is Robert, aka Robess, Anti-Corruption Scotland. I'm the head of Anti-Corruption Scotland, and today I've come up here to expose a fraud that affects you from the day you were born, that nobody's aware of. When you were born and you were created from your mother, there was a thing called a live birth record. Now, the deception is, when you register your son or daughter with the registers of the council, it's called a birth certificate. And why is it called a birth certificate? Because it comes under maritime law, the law of the sea. The woman's birth canal, it's all water. This is the problem people don't understand, right? There's two photographs on that banner of myself, and I'm going to explain it. The man, living, speaking, person, the entity created on paper. A person only exists on paper. Now, hi, my name is Robert. I was born 18th of the 6th, 1964, within the Southern General Hospital, Glasgow. This is where a hospital record was created called the live birth record. This was created from myself through a boy's existence, a living individual, right? When I was born, right? The reason for this record created is proof of life, a living fact. And I'm a living fact, and everybody here today sitting is a living fact. You have life. You are not a person. You are not a corporation, and you're not nothing that doesn't exist. This nonsense for the Crown is all on paper. The legal name, the old capital name on your driving licence, the old capital name on your passport is for a dead legal fiction. If you don't believe myself, when you go home, if you've got a driving licence, ask it a question and see if it's an answer. If your passport's got a photograph, ask it a question and see if it answers. If it answers, you're an imposter. Now, what happens is a legal instrument is created known as the extract of the birth certificate. This is created by the registers. What the people don't know is it's unlawful contract that's been created through criminal conversion that takes place via fraud and identity theft. They're stealing your name and your identity, people. This is without full disclosure. The mother and father then give jurisdiction and full control to the dead legal entity, i.e. the state. The state, the Crown, there's nobody called Crown, there's nobody called government. They use fictitious names and fictitious offices to escape liability, and this is the bit people have to understand. And everything I state here today can be verified under a charge of perjury in any court jurisdiction in the lands of Scotland, England, Ireland or Wales, the Supreme Court or the Court of Session or any court outside this jurisdiction. Right? The Crown stamp is also up at the top left-hand corner and shows it as Crown copyright. The dead legal entity now owns the legal name. The men and women that represent the dead legal entity known as Scottish Government has set a retention date of 25 years. That means after 25 years your life birth record is destroyed. You have no evidence that you exist. And that's a fact in law, a fact in truth. The living man or woman is then attached to the fraudulent Crown birth certificate, and the identity theft is committed by the Crown, i.e. dead legal entity state. The problem here is that most people think he or she is a person. You are not a person, right? If you're a person, show me your person now. Let me shake his hand, let me speak to you. Show me your person. You don't have a person. So the question here is yourself cannot use the legal document for identity. Who owns it? The only answer is this belongs to the dead legal entity, Crown. If you check your birth certificate, at the bottom left-hand corner it tells you person or person cannot use this for identity. Well, if you can't use it, who owns it? Whose is it? If you use it, you're committing fraud against yourself. You can't use it, people. People don't know this. They're blind to it. So the day I'm here to try and waken you up and tell you the truth of what's going on. Legal person, HMRC, council tax, everything to do with a legal corporate name, you are held surety and liable. This name has nothing to do with the sovereign people, and I'll take any politician, man or woman, humans are useless. Anybody for the council, anybody for any part of the government here now, anytime they want to come, talk to a man and I'll destroy him in front of the people, and I'll show you the real truth. Now, Everyone under 25 should write to the local health board authorities and require a copy of his or her birth record as proof of life. People have to understand, if this is destroyed, then you don't exist as a man or a woman. You came into this world a man or a woman. I don't care what anybody else says. I'm a man and I know what I'm a. The definition of entity. What is an entity? An entity is an independent existence for the man or woman. That's the person, right? Here, Glasgow Health Board is one of the biggest health boards. This is where the live birth records are being destroyed right now. My own has been destroyed. I've had mine destroyed. I've asked for it. They've told me it's destroyed because the legal entity government says that if you destroy the records, that's so you don't exist. You can't prove your existence. You're a person and you don't exist. When a title is used such as Mr, Miss and Mrs. and the old cap named Robert Sprell, yourself is dead, to put it bluntly. The legal system do not recognise the living men or women. Example of that is if you get into Glasgow Sheriff Court with a lawyer, a whore of Babylon, a lawyer liar. You go into the dock, the man on the bench doesn't hear you, see you, recognise you because you don't exist. That's a person, people. I've went into 2 court cases to get the cases dropped because I wouldn't accept the status as person. I stood as a man, took on the judge. The second case, I got locked up for a night, went back to court, hit the judge with an 80 grand bill, a 55 grand bill to the court manager, and the case was dropped when I went back 2 weeks later because they can't deal with a living fact. Finally, there is a website called Scotland's People. This site is statutory births. That's what you look up. If you put in your legal name, date of birth, your mother's maiden name, and you'll see that yourself has an entity. It tells you when you contact online the Scotland People website, you apply for an extract of a birth certificate, their copyright name, they'll send you a receipt telling you you have an entity ID. And guess what, people? It's the all capital name. On the extract of the birth certificate, example, my name is Robert, capital A, lowercase, capital S for Sproul, lowercase. So what name is actually mine? The all caps name or the other name? That's the problem people don't understand. When people register their son and daughter's birth certificates, they sign their life of their son and daughter over to the state. That's why social services can come in and steal them. You've created a contract and joined it without even knowing it. There is no full disclosure. Was any man or woman here that created sons or daughter told when you register their son and daughter that they were going to copyright the name? Well, if they didn't, the birth certificate is null and void. I'm about to take the registers on to rescind the name because I'm not accepting the bullshit anymore. People need to wake up. These people don't work for the people. They work for the corporations, corporate greed, corporate agenda. They're stealing your life, people, and you don't even know it. Again, I'll verify that in a charge of perjury in any court in the land of Scotland, England, Ireland, Wales, Court of Session, Supreme Court, or any court outside the whole of the UK. Because I'm right and they're wrong. And today you're getting the truth 1,000,000% true. Right? As I said, if you've got a person, or you believe you have a person, come and bring me your person and I talk to him and shake his hand. It'll never be done. The only thing you can do is bring a passport or any ID. As soon as you talk to the police and they ask for your address and name, they criminally convert the name into the old cap's name because they can't deal with a man or a woman. And I've proved that time and time again here. I've made a superior claim to the lands and I've made a superior claim to my status as a man and they backed in. Right? It's all fraud, people. Have trust and faith in what I tell you. I'm not here to lie or give you misinformation. And I'll challenge anybody in the legal system, legal society, because that's what I do. For 12 and a half years, I've fought with the system. I've been locked up. I've had my door kicked in because I will not back down for the police, the courts, or the government, or the council, because they're all fraudulent. They're all paid liars. Every man and woman representing this legal system, legal society, is all paid liars. Right? Wake up. I have an ABC rule. Accept nothing for your liars in the legal system, legal society, right? Because they're all paid liars. Believe nothing for people in the legal system, legal society. I tell you anything, they're all paid liars and challenge everything, and that's the problem. People don't challenge nothing. They sit back and take the bullshit because these people that work for the legal system, legal society, think that they have dominion over the men, women, sons and daughters. They don't have any power or authority, people. They're the truth, they're people. That's it. I've done this, I've wrote to the local authority. I've asked them for my live birth record that's been destroyed. And what I'm saying, if you've got sons and daughters under 25, write to your local authority, your hospital, that you had the son or daughter tell me you want their live birth record before it's too late, because they don't exist if they wipe it. I've been off the street for the last 6 months, people could have been unwell. I'm now back on the street waking the people up because they need to wake up to what's going on in their lives. Your lives, your rights have been stolen every day and you don't even know it. There's a thing coming called pandemic treaty. I'll cover that another day. And when you find out the implications of that, I'll wake you up, let me tell you. Now, as I said, people, your hospital live birth record has been wiped. After 25 years, you don't exist. As a person with a birth certificate, you exist. And that's diabolical. People have to waken up. The only way we can sort this, people, is we have to remove these politicians and we have to get a sovereign government in place. A people government that works for the people, that the people can hold to account. These people can't be held to account. They're making things up as they're going along every day, and it can't go on the way it's going on. Deprivation and poverty is diabolical. Homelessness, food banks, the sick can't get medical treatment for cancers and other things, need dentist appointments, need doctor appointments. It's diabolical, people. Please, people, when I'm here today, I've not been on the street for a long while. I'm here to try and educate you. I'll be back in the street now. This is me just kind of bring myself back in because I've not been on the street, and it's quite hard. So I've just done this in the spur of the moment. We were waiting for the guys over there who was preaching the Bible to kind of back off, but they were being a bit no one to play. But I would end up talking over them anyway. Everything's there on that, but if you want to come over and take a photo of that before I take it down, people, all the information's there that'll educate you. It's like a blackboard, right? It gives you the information you require to know, the information to educate you. Everything's 1,000,000% true on that. And I'll stand in any court and swear under a charge of perjury. I've done my research, I've done the challenge, and that's the way it is. Anyway, people, thanks for the people that sat and hopefully took some of this information in. And thanks for letting me be heard and nobody shout abuse it, right? I'm only doing this for you. We are called Anti-Corruption Scotland, people for the people, we are change. And our objective is to educate the people. Our objective is to stand up for the people. But the problem we've got, the people don't want to stand with Anti-Corruption Scotland so we can make change. And we have to make change. And for this video, all you groups out there, all the people that was out in the past, time we come back and play with Anti-Corruption Scotland, time we come together and let's put an end to this tyranny. Let's stop this corruption at the highest level and let's wipe it. Anyway, people, thanks for taking time to listen and let me be heard. Thank you, it's appreciated. Bye-bye.